The sound test room.
Hello and welcome to the Sound Test Room. This is the Hack Attack Show. I'm your host Jakob Hack and we are continuing the TC11 guide. This is part 3 where we will take a look at the settings page. Before we start, if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2 yet, I do suggest that you go watch them before watching this one, unless you already know the basics of the performance and the load sharing view. Okay, so without further ado, to get to the settings page, we go back to the performance. This is the navigation bar, and to bring up the navigation bar, you double tap this icon twice. Double tap, navigation bar pops up, performance, load sharing, patch, which we are jumping over. I'm gonna do a lot of videos about the patch area and go straight to the settings. So here is the settings menu on the left, and this is where you make the settings on the right. In this, the settings view, this is where you can set global options that are not directly related to the current patch or synthesis, such as display settings and color changes. In the first row, you have background audio, and it says run audio in background. This option forces TC11 to continue to generate audio even when the app is in the background. So if I press the home button with the run in audio background option on, then audio will keep on running even if I leave the app. And to turn this function on, you just tap it and you can see that it's on, and to turn it off, you tap it once again. One thing to know about TC11 when you use it together with Audio Bus: you don't need to turn on the run audio in background to use Audio Bus. TC11 will automatically run in the background when connected to Audio Bus or Interapp Audio. Next we have the polyphony. Right now it says max touches 8. This is actually where you change the polyphony of TC11. This little icon here is called the knob slider, and you drag it up or down to change the polyphony. The notes section allows you to change the way that note letters are named. So instead of CDE, you can change it to Do Re Mi. Next we have patches, and it says restore patch presets. When you press this, you will get prompted with restore missing presets. If you press restore, then TC11 will scan the patches currently in your documents directory. If there are any presets missing, then TC11 will find them and copy those presets into your patch collection. But it doesn't overwrite any existing patches. I don't think I have to explain the language option, but you actually have the option of turning on the English language. So if you press it, it will prompt you to restart TC11, and when you've restarted TC11, then the language inside TC11 will change to English, even if you have your iPad set to any other language. That was the general tab in the settings view, and now we go to display. The first option, screen axis, actually gives us a way of inverting the X and Y axis, in effect flipping them. To explain it better, it will flip the high and low orientation of the respective axis. Remember, in part 1 I showed you that you could rotate the screen. When the navigation bar is on, you can rotate the screen. Even if you invert the X and Y axis, the X and Y will always stay in the same positions on the screen, even if you flip the screen. So doing that won't change the position of the X and Y. Clarify, the X and Y axis will stay locked with the physical screen of the device even if you rotate the device from portrait to landscape mode. It can't be more clear than that. That's the Y-axis, and this is the X-axis. Navigation bar, go to the settings and invert the X and Y axis. Now, reading from the manual, it says it is important to realize that this option is for holding the device in a different way and should not be used as a way to individually flip a particular controller. Each individual controller can be inverted, including axis-related controllers. If you have a stand or a strap that holds your iPad in a particular way, it may be useful to set this permanently. Next, we have the performance view, and this is the performance view. So the settings here are corresponding to these little icons and stuffs in here. So if we look at the choices we have here, if I remove the quick load button, then we can't see the quick load button for the presets. Turn it on and it's here. The show patch title, if I remove that, you won't be able to see the patch title down here. Turn it on and there it is, Rainfire. The show axis labels are actually these two right here. So if I remove them, you can't see them. The show record button, quite obviously this, but right now we're using TC11 in an IAA mode inside Audio Share. So let's go to Audio Share and stop the recording, double tap on the home button and close it off. And the icon for Audio Share goes away. As you can see, there is no recording button. That's because we turned it off. So if I turn it on, the recording button is there. The last option of the performance view, show touch amplitudes, I'll show you. Go to the performance view, and when I press here, you can see there's a white circle, not this one, but around my finger that pops up when I hit it. That's the touch amplitude. If we go back into the navigation bar and to the settings tab and untick the show touch amplitudes, then you can no longer see that white circle popping up when I put down my fingers. Let's turn it on once more so you can see it. It's this white ring popping up. Next, we have the graphics options. The reduced drawing mode is an aesthetic graphics preference, turns off anti-aliasing, and can speed up drawing on the performance view when many controllers are active. So if this is working a bit jiggy for you, tick the reduced drawing mode, and drawing on this screen, all of the graphics will run more smoothly. The draw grids is an aesthetic graphics preference to hide or show grids on the performance view, and I'll show you. This is the grid, and if we turn it off, then we don't have a grid. If we turn it on, the grid is back, just like that. The draw background color switches between drawing the default background color or a black background. If I have it on, it looks like this, but if we untick this box, the background goes black. Lastly, we have the custom controller drawing, and this has to do with the graphical interface and the way this looks when performing. And here it says override patch controller display. If we press this bar, then we will open up another menu, and as you can see, there are a lot of things to choose from here. It's just too much to explain for this video, so I will make a graphics episode where I'm showing you how to customize the graphics for the performance view and stuff like that. But just quickly, if we look in here, we can see we have the options of all, none, and random. The override patch controller display allows for controllers that are not active in a patch to be drawn to the screen anyway. Each part uses a set of controllers to drive the synth objects by default, and the only controllers that will draw to screen in the performance view are those used by the currently loaded patch. This is to assist with performance, and you can see exactly what touch movements matter and which do not. As I said, it's difficult just to explain it, and I will be showing you this, but it's too much right now, so just wait for that graphics episode of TC11 Guide and you'll understand what it's all about. I can also add that the override patch controller display option is for performers who want an unrelated set of controllers to display in the performance view when they play. This is an aesthetic function only, and controllers that have not been programmed into the patch will not affect parameters, but you can make them show either way using the override patch controller display option here. Personally, I love being able to change colors, and here you have a set of colors that you can use. So if we look at the performance right now, it looks like this. Just for the fun of it, let's go back to display and remove the draw grids. And then we go back to colors and we change it to this one right here. Go to the performance view and oh, look at that. Oh, I'm loving this. Let's change it one more time. This is quite simple, isn't it? I kind of like that one. Oh, look at that. Yeah. I love this. Don't you just love this? That's how easy it is to change colors. Now, you can't customize the colors. You only have these templates to choose from. And Kevin, it would be a nice thing being able to change the colors and make your own templates. Just a pointer. I think that many would agree on that. Oh, it's beautiful. I actually like the templates already in here, especially the blue, the yellow, the red ones. And this one, this looks very Borgy, like the Borg in Star Trek. And that's all for the color section. Next up, we have the help area, and it looks like this. Here you can download the TC11 manual, and it's quite handy. I have a laptop standing in front of me with this manual in it, so that I will be able to double check if there's something I've remembered incorrectly. I'm referencing this manual a lot. Kevin, I love these animations that you've put in here. These animations explain some of the symbols being used throughout the app. Lastly, we have the About page, and it is as straightforward as it can be. TC11, this is version 2.0. Here you can go and rate it on the App Store, and I suggest that you do that. You also have a link to BitshapeSoftware.com, and this is the home of TC11 and Kevin Schley. You can also email the developer Kevin Schley if you have any questions or if you just want to give him some praise for this amazing app. And as usual, my camera won't show you, so I'll just do this and you can see that this is the email window. That's it for the settings view. And in the next part 4 of this Hack TC11 guide, we will go into the patch area. And that's something to look forward to, because this is one of the most fun areas actually of TC11. This is where we make our patches. You have been watching the Hack Attack Show with me, Jakob Huck, your host. Stay tuned for the next part of this TC11 guide. Come visit me, Doug and Colin Swinney at thesoundtestroom.com. And as usual, we are all wishing you a very productive week. And by the way, happy Easter. That reminds me, I gotta go make a Easter episode of some kind. Maybe a vlog or something? Yeah, I'll probably make a vlog.
Yeah.